White Collar ran for 6 seasons, but it failed Neal Caffrey in one major way that the reboot needs to fix. White Collar is one of the most compelling and engaging crime dramas on TV, and that is largely down to the wonderful characters who stand front and center in the show. Alongside Special Agent Peter Burke, an experienced FBI detective, Neal Caffrey stands out as the charming and daring criminal mastermind who is given a shot at freedom in return for helping the FBI in their investigations into other criminals. The bond that is formed between Peter Burke and Neal Caffrey is incredible to follow, and it's the beating heart of the show. However, there is always a divide between the two men because of their opposing morals. Neal is a con man, and he struggles to let go of his old ways. Meanwhile, Peter was chasing Neal for years before he finally caught him, and now he's in the odd position of working next to his old rival. But as the two get closer, there is one glaring issue that is never resolved for Neal, which White Collar Renaissance must correct. Neal Caffrey should be set free in White Collar Renaissance. Neal Caffrey served more than enough time in White Collar. When Neal was initially in prison at the start of White Collar, he had almost completed his sentence. However, after he escaped from his cell to track down his girlfriend, he had extra time added to his sentence. While this could have seen Neal serve several more years inside a cell, he was given an option to work with the FBI as a criminal consultant, and he was promised that his help would reduce his sentence until he was able to be freed. Unfortunately, the FBI lied, and Neal was continuously given more time, which meant he served for 6 more years as a CI. Now, while he was able to roam New York and work with Peter on dozens of cases, Neal was always forced to wear an ankle monitor. He did break out occasionally with the help of Mozzie, but this restriction was a constant burden hanging over him. And according to high-ranking FBI agents, there were no plans to let him go free anytime soon. This was a huge injustice to the character, who genuinely experienced growth during the show's run, but was never given a chance to offer his expert advice voluntarily. Neal assisting the FBI as a free man would be a big change for White Collar. Neal Caffrey isn't used to doing things the right way. Ultimately, Neal needed to fake his own death in order to escape from his ongoing sentence. But for the reboot, the show needs to find a way to not only bring Neal back, but also do so in a way that doesn't see him serve even more time. Depending on how high in the ranks Peter has climbed, he may be able to pull some strings, and officially bring Neal in as an equal partner, expert, and agent. While he may not be trusted as a full-fledged FBI agent, it would be a missed opportunity to simply drag him back to a prison cell, and start up a new sentence with another ankle monitor. But, if Neal is going to work with Peter on a voluntary basis, it's going to look very different to anything we have seen in White Collar before. Neal was experiencing a change of heart during the show's run, and he genuinely found pleasure in helping to put bad guys away. But, Neal is also not acquainted with playing by the rules. If there is a way to get around the administrative tape, Neal is likely to take it, but this would have to change if Neal is a legitimate free agent in White Collar Renaissance.